What's up, everyone? It's Doug here with Retro Geek Gaming again. I know, another late video after work and all that stuff, but the Nintendo Direct was today, and I figured I'd at least get my 2 cents in on it real quick. And again, as always with my videos, you're welcome to comment down below about what you think about anything that was shown off in the Direct, um, as well as your thoughts on just whatever, lack of what they didn't show or whatever. But for me, the Direct was a mixed bag. That's basically my final verdict on it. Um, there was some good stuff that was shown. Like, I liked the new look of it. I liked the fact that they got that new guy that basically helped with the Switch up front now for the Directs. I kind of like the way that they're doing it now, where they just like, we're going to talk about the 3DS, and here's these 8 items, and they go through it real quick, just in a snap, just real quick talking about it. They don't spend 40 minutes focusing on stuff that might be irrelevant. And yeah, Tuki kind of like the way that it is now. But, and this is just me, but I'm just used to the old school Nintendo Directs with Mr. Iwata. So, it's going to take some adjustment. But at the same time, it was a tad bit disappointing that none of the big stuff that I was expecting. I mean, I wasn't expecting anything big. Okay? Let's just go ahead and get that out of the way. I wasn't expecting any huge reveals. Because, I mean, I'm not an idiot. I use my head. There's no way that you're going to tell me that even if they do have a new Metroid, or like what I want, Luigi's Mansion 3, maybe a Dark Cloud 3. I mean, you do have level 5 on your side, making Yokai Watch, whatever. But even if they do have these big game reveals lined up and ready to go, there's no way that you're going to tell me that they would show them now, and then 2 months from now, when E3 comes around, they'll be like, oh, hey, and I need you to act surprised again for this Metroid game, or this Luigi's Mansion game, or whatever it is that they reveal. They're not going to do that. And they came out basically and they said directly, this is going to mostly be about ARMS and Splatoon 2, which it was, and I appreciate it. I like the information that I saw on ARMS. It's got me a little bit more excited about it now, knowing that you can have, 4-player battle. That's going to be probably something that's going to be done a lot in my household, to be honest with you. Yeah, and the new fighters and stuff like that. I mean, it's really interesting. And Splatoon 2 also, and just giving us a bunch of release dates for like Evo Oasis and stuff like that. I still want to see more from that game. There is stuff that I am excited about, like that one project game. I don't remember what it's called right now, but it's basically you just jump down and you capture these tiles and stuff like that. Looks really interesting. There was a lot of stuff that caught my interest. I'm going to keep an eye out for. And, they also released a lot of, information about smaller stuff, because that's pretty much what I was expecting. And that's pretty much what these directs do. They have maybe one big focus, 2 big focuses, and then a bunch of small stuff sprinkled in. Because honestly, that's what I want. I want them to save the big stuff for E3. I would have been a lot more upset if they would showing off all these big reveals and stuff like that, because when E3 comes around, I'm just like, I don't know what you got left. You showed off everything. You know what I'm saying? However, if I have to say, my biggest disappointment is Payday 2. I don't know why that's coming to the Switch. I don't understand it. That's the best that you can get from Seabreeze Games or whoever it is that makes it. I mean, I guess, yay. Congratulations on getting this game, but that's sort of the same situation you had with the Wii U, was you were getting games that were years old, that had already been out before. And at this point, Payday 2 has been out, like, everywhere. I even think it was free at one point through, like, either Games of Gold or PlayStation Plus or something. It was free at one point, if I remember correctly. Why on earth is... I mean, I'm glad that it was just like, hey, just real quick, this is coming to the Switch and we're going to move on. They didn't make it a big deal, like dedicating an entire Direct to it. But, I mean, really? I just hope that that's not the future of the Switch. I hope that the big, third-party games that come to the Switch on just like, oh yeah, they're a bunch of PS3 games. Or they're a bunch of games that are just like, years old and stuff like that. I really hope that we get like, even if they're slightly watered down versions of like Resident Evil 7, for an example, that's what I would rather see. I think it'd be better to see, at least moderately new stuff, or at least attempts at new stuff. Like even if you give us like a Resident Evil Revelations 3, hey, at least that's new, But again, time will only tell on that. I don't want to go off on a side tangent. I went off on a side tangent, didn't even mean to. But the direct was okay. There was a lot of stuff that, like I said, I'm excited about. And I kind of like the new format of it. Now, definitely looking forward to ARMS. Definitely looking forward to a few of the Switch games like I talked about. But yeah, otherwise, it was a pretty simple direct. And, I like that. I like the fact that Nintendo controls their environments like that. That way they can just sort of, just stand up there, talk about it, show off some real quick gameplay, and move on. I kind of would like to see a big live reaction from E3, though, a big press conference with Reggie and all that stuff. But you know what I'm very glad about? And this is something that I didn't really even notice that I missed until now it's not in the directs anymore. But Bill Trinen and Reggie, like, there's a part of me that kind of wish that they had shown up. But I'm kind of glad they're not there and they're not showing off these silly, zany antics. That they're just being, again, very straight to the point. These games are coming out for the 3DS. These games are coming out for the Switch. Have a good day. Straight and to the point. I like it. But that's going to be all that I'm going to do. I'm not going to sit in and do any more side tangents or anything like that. Again, make sure you guys put what you think about the Direct down below. And I'd love to hear what you also have to think about E3 coming up. Because I will be doing a video on that as far as what I want to see from E3. Oh, and the Amiibo. Yeah, the Amiibo. Amiibo. They didn't really need to come out for Pikmin Amiibo. That really wasn't necessary. And the new Splatoon Amiibo, you could just add the old ones to do that. But whatever. I digress. It's Nintendo's decision. Apparently, they make a ton of money off of Amiibo because it seems like every game that comes out, they're coming out with some kind of Amiibo functionality. And you know what? That's fine because I'm excited to get my hands on, like, the Cloud Amiibo and the Bayonetta Amiibo and stuff like that. And I even have Amiibo that are now in my collection. It's still something I want to get my hands on. But it just feels like, did you really have to come out with Amiibo just for this game? Did you just think of a way to come out with, like, how can we make a Pikmin Amiibo? Let's come out with a Pikmin game. Let's come out with, hey, Pikmin. You could have done that at Pikmin 4. You didn't have to do that. But, whatever. As long as it has multiple uses, I'm okay with it. But again, I'm not going to keep going off on a side tangent with this. What do you guys think about the Nintendo Direct, and what are you looking forward from E3 and from Nintendo in the future? Love to hear what you have to say. Thanks for watching, as always, guys. Have a good one, and I'll see you next time.